Hello, fellow journey runners. Today is week 12, day 1. Happy Monday. We survived another week and we're heading into another week. And today thought I'd go over another recipe, which is what I get from this book. Again, it's one of my favorite books as far as nutrition goes, or recipes, I should say. And I wanted to pick out one that I thought would be helpful for you, as it is something that I will use if I want to prepare a whole week's worth of food, or at least for my lunches. And I think you'll enjoy this recipe as much as I do. So let's get into it. Starting with the ingredients, I have some Italian spices here. I have a whole yellow pepper. You can use any pepper, or red pepper, green pepper. I use a half of a Vidalia onion, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and 3 clovers worth of garlic, some spinach, tomato paste, chopped tomatoes or crushed tomatoes, some olive oil, which is optional, some pasta, and some beans. Now, for the vegetables and the beans, you can use any kind that you want. I just happen to have this around in my fridge, so I wanted to use it. And this here will prepare me for a whole week's worth of food. I also have a half a cup here and a teaspoon, as well as actually you need 5 cups of water. And everything is going to go in one pot, which is the wok. And this recipe comes from one of my favorite books right here. And a link will be in the description below if you want to get it. And this is called the one pot pasta. So this recipe I have does not follow it exactly, but is definitely inspired by that, because I may add anything that I really want to this, meaning I may add some additional vegetables, or maybe some other type of protein I would add to this as I see fit, or I may just go with what I have here, and then later on in the week I will prepare maybe some protein to be added later on as I see fit or want during the week. So let's get started with actually making this recipe. So to start off, I have the 5 cups of water already in the wok, ready to go. Then I'm going to take the box of pasta and just get that poured in there. I'm going to do the whole box. And then I will dump the onions in, dump the peppers in, and those are chopped. You can chop them as thick as you want. Throw in the beans. Now the beans are rinsed already, so you may want to do that before you put them in. Put the garlic in there. Okay. And now for the Italian spice here. Oh, this is a new jar, never been opened. So 1 tablespoon of this. Again, do it as you see fit. Here we go. And wow, that's not coming out very easily. So there we go. That's about a tablespoon. Then I'm also going to do a tablespoon of the tomato paste. Now I'm doing it in this order because if I did it the other way around, I would have this actually, I probably should have put the spice in sort of last, because now I probably have some spice in the tomato paste. Something to think about. And for the olive oil, It is a tablespoon of the olive oil. And then for the finely chopped, or the tomatoes, it is supposed to be about 14, I believe, ounces. This here is 1/4 cup, 12 servings. So I have a half a cup here, and I'm going to do 3 servings of that. So that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. And pretty much we put in the spinach later. So I'm pretty much going to mix this up and get it boiling. But while it's doing that, you want to mix this often to help it boil faster. So maybe every minute or 2 minutes or so, I'll stir that up until it's boiling. So pretty much I am now at a boil here, and I've been stirring occasionally. So now the next step is for me, is to set a timer for 10 minutes. And start. And now what we want to do is turn this to a medium high and throw in our spinach or whatever green or whatever you want in there. And I just do a handful. I'm just going to do this whole rest of this container, be done with it. And now from this part, we want to keep stirring, and we got to keep stirring because we don't want the pasta to start sticking together. So this is going to start thickening. And a little tip here that I learned is at the bottom, I kind of scrape the bottom while I'm doing this, only because the sauce kind of gets sticky at the bottom and then becomes a pain to actually wash later. It's still a pain to kind of wash, but the idea is that the pasta, you cook this until the pasta becomes al dente. I'm just doing it for the 10 minutes, and that seems to work for me, at least on my stove, exactly 10 minutes. So I'm literally just going to sit here and stir continuously. Okay, so my 10 minutes are up, and I can actually see that the sauce has thickened. When I push the spatula, it's almost clean at the bottom, meaning that the sauce isn't filling it in right away. So this is pretty much done, and you can see it's mostly pasta and not sauce. So I know this is pretty much done. So I'm going to shut this off and actually take this and move it to a different spot. Let me change places with this to get it off the heat. Then I'm going to let that sit for 5 minutes and or so, pretty much what I wasn't able to get done with washing dishes. I'm going to wash all the dishes that it took to make this, and that's pretty much it. There you have it. It's pretty simple. One pot pasta. The hardest part for me is chopping, and I already did that beforehand, but probably for most people this is a pretty simple, easy, quick recipe that you can do to prepare your whole entire week worth of lunch, as I said earlier. And this will be my lunch for the rest of the week. And I'll just add different things to it to make it a little bit more interesting. Maybe some cheese, or maybe not cheese, depending if I'm going vegan that day, but pretty much that's it, and pretty simple, pretty quick. Like I said, you can be very free with how you want to do it, as I have found that makes it work for you. So until next time, I will see you tomorrow.